prominent social media platforms whose numbers don't make sense and don't track onto other platforms, implying they are using bots. And as we've already pointed out numerous times in the past, it is a fact that prominent social media sites use bots to prop up viewer count. I'll give you an example. It is known that the CEO, the co-founders of Reddit, when they first launched the site, created fake accounts, sock puppets, to interact with users so they would believe there was real engagement on the platform. They faked it. This has been the case for many big social media platforms. I think what's happening now with, people have complained like, why are my views down? When Elon bought Twitter, they were like, my views are down now. And it's like, maybe because they were never there in the first place. Yeah. And what was happening was there was a machine state that said, if someone says something that's anti-Trump, pump it up. If someone says something that is pro-Trump, drop it down. Elon comes in, and they're like, quick, run for the hills. And now people are going, why are my numbers different? Why are my subscriber, growth different?
And and there's no question the big tech companies, Twitter before Elon and Zuckerberg, YouTube, they've all had a political agenda. That's just so obvious. You look at the Twitter files, the Biden administration instructing them on who and what to censor. It would make sense. Not only are they like censoring conservatives, but doing the fake optics to make their side who supports their agenda, fake optics make them look, more popular, which then helps them gain more popularity. So to me, what you're saying, theoretically, it makes sense.
Yeah, I remember prior to Elon Musk, getting Twitter, and switching it to X, I remember I would log in and my feed would just, every single profile picture was just a politician with their little tie on, and it was a statement, and it had 100,000 likes and no engagement. And I remember everything I was seeing, I would have to pretty much mute things like that because it would be my entire feed. And then you have this, like Tim said, this machine kind of collapsing. And then at the same time, in my opinion, you have people trying to gravitate, especially after COVID, like what me and Phil were talking about, after seeing all the fakeness and all of what I call corpo speak, you see people gravitating towards real people that have real emotions and real reactions to things, and they don't try to hide these things. And yeah, it can be a little coarse sometimes, but people want realness. They're tired of hearing we're sorry you feel that way. I had I've been in a spat with YouTube the past 2 days because they started
charging you.
They started charging me every day.
Is it actually like they're charging you? Like you will get like less money?
Yeah. So, my revenue was supposed to be like a couple $1,000s, and I checked it, and it was pretty much zero. And I was like, what's going on? And it was just, I've never had a negative day in 7 years on YouTube. And it was like negative 200, negative 98, negative 140, negative. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the end of my life. It's over. And, YouTube keeps telling me to talk to, the customer support. And they're just like, they don't even know what I'm talking. They don't even know what I'm referring to. Right. And, YouTube finally emailed me after it was trending all day today. But, it's pretty devastating watching your revenue go down. And that's the thing, is people are tired of hearing. It's one thing to watch it
go down. It's another thing to be like, you owe us money.
Yeah, it was like negative. It was like negative. And I was like,
dude, your AdSense is terrible. Cody, you are like, you're costing us money.
What's your average? My average view duration is negative 30 seconds.
You could make the argument that if what you were looking at before was bots and a corporate structure that was designed to make everything look more popular than it was, then you had a bunch of neoliberal company owners or even leftist company owners who then, once that was kind of pulled apart when Elon bought X and they had to pivot, now they're all like, you know what, we're kind of free. I'm kind of a free speech advocate myself over here at Meta. And Mark Zuckerberg starts doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and pretending like he's human. Like we're at a point now where they're trying to actually manufacture authenticity where it's not even really there.
That's a great point,
and be real, the conservatives fell for it. They're like, I like that Mark Zuckerberg guy now because he kind of acting like a real person.
He is the most spineless person I've ever met. I would have more respect for the guy if once Trump took office, he still stood for censorship. Like, this is like, I don't agree with that, but if he authentically believed it, I can respect a guy who stands for what he believes in. But as soon as Trump takes office, he's just like so spineless. Like, yeah, we should definitely, have free speech and open this up. It's like, you believe in nothing, you autistic guy.
That was his kind of stance. Like back in the day, right? He thought he would come across as a libertarian kind of minded dude, and before
supposedly Jack Dorsey as well.
Yeah,
back in the day,
and
right?
actually Jack Dorsey, like when he sold Blue Sky because Blue Sky became what it is, and he's like, I can't. He's just like, I can't with these people.
So he brought Vine back instead.
Yeah, and not to say that I think that he's particularly principled or anything like that, but I do think that the pressure from the government, like when the government says, hey, we need you to do this, even just making the remark, we want you to do this, that everybody feels like it's a threat. If you get a letter from the IRS, everybody's like, oh,
The guy's like, sure would be a shame if you got audited.
Yeah, it's like if the eye of Sauron looks at you, you start sweating. And that's really kind of what the government is. So not that I'm saying that, not that I'm, making excuses or whatever, but it is understandable to be Mark Zuckerberg with one of the biggest companies in the world, and then the federal government's like, hey, maybe you should help us out. And obviously he got wrapped up and allowed them to do things that he shouldn't have. And it is good that he said, okay, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't do this. He should have stood on principle earlier and not let them do that. But I do understand how, the government saying, hey, we want you to do this, what that kind of does to basically anybody.
I would probably cave.
I mean,
We got big news from Donald Trump. He has signed the Epstein release. It's happening. There's going to be nothing in it. We'll be bored, and I'm bored now. But Donald Trump has truthed. He truthed a lot. It's long. Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, not the Democrats, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures, such as Bill Clinton, who traveled on his plane 26 times, Larry Summers, who just resigned from many boards, including Harvard, sleazebag political activist Reid Hoffman, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who asked Epstein to donate to his campaign after Epstein was charged, Democrat Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, and many more. Perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their associates with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed, because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files. As everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass the bill in the House and the Senate, respectively. Because of this request, the votes were almost unanimous in favor of the passage. At my direction, the Department of Justice has already turned over close to 50,000 pages of documents to Congress. Do not forget, the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they ever speak about him. Democrats have used the Epstein issue, which affects them far more than the Republican Party, in order to try and distract from our amazing victories, including the great big beautiful tax cut bill, strong borders, no men in women's sports or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, lowering prices, biggest tax and regulation cuts in history, ending 8 wars, rebuilding our military, knocking out Iran's nuclear capability, getting trillions of dollars invested in the USA, creating the hottest country anywhere in the world, and even delivering a huge defeat to the Democrats on the recent shutdown disaster. For years, our great nation has had to endure Russia, Ukraine, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and many other Democrat-created witch hunts and scams, all of which have been so terrible and divisive for our country, have been done to confuse, deflect, and distract from the great job that Republicans and the Trump administration are doing. This latest hoax will backfire on the Democrats, just as all of the rest have. Thank you again for your attention to this matter. Make America great again.
Nobody can glaze Donald Trump like Donald Trump can glaze Donald Trump. They're like nobody. Like he can go ahead and glaze other people, and he's great at it. Like when someone's nice to him, he'll glaze you. But like, man, when he's talking about himself, look out. He is unstoppable. Look at how great I am.
In my mind, he does that with voice to text. He's so old.
Well, he does it with voice to actual person typing. He tells someone that he doesn't type. Donald Trump is a hunt and pecker.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's not using his, he's doing this. That's why
I wouldn't be surprised if he's never had his fingers on a keyboard in his life. Always has
seriously.
a secretary assistant around.
I do think that he does a little bit of this. Like Koveffi was this, the thumbs, but otherwise he's a hunt and pecker, and he's telling someone else what to tweet.
So I think, it really surprised me a couple months ago when Trump came out hard trying to protect the Epstein files. I mean, he got really vicious, really attacking his followers as well. I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised that he's flipped and supporting this. I don't think it's a good look that he flipped. I think it's a much better look than if he like kept his heels dug into like, hey, there's nothing to see with Epstein. But to his credit, he flipped when he should have. I don't think he ever should have had his heels dug in. But I am surprised by all this.
Well, it could have been 4D chess.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.